Okay, I'm putting this up now because it was just as bad last night. Oh my God. I turned my phone off, but like I said, I think the phones are unturn offable completely because they think law enforcement might need to find you um, because you've been kidnapped or carjacked or something or fallen down a well or off a ravine or something hiking. So anyway, last night I slept on the couch. I woke up this morning because it was trying to sexually assault me so badly. Then just chortling away to itself about like home invasion and troll wars and um, how they're actually like no matter what, I'd never get away from them, and neither would some little girl and some man. They were going through his and some absolutely horrible language about things that Dean keeps in jars and discount hot dogs and things your mom says about discount hot dogs and why we don't buy them. So it's assholes because it was literally lips and assholes. And then something about wealthy guys. This is this morning, last night, like when I woke up this morning because I lay down fully in the on the couch to sleep, um, and the then there was somebody hiding in his basement. I believe an upper middle class wealthy man or a boy. It was a male. And they got away from him a little bit. They're having a little trouble getting in the building because, um, but they're doing okay. Apparently, if it has your cell phone, and the cell phone isn't really that turned off. I didn't really bother to turn off all the electronics at all. I had it off at some point. It's still, I mean, the phone had just been on and it was still pretty much on. It was just turned off, but I would have it. Um, Even if you try to turn off all devices as far as access to the internet, they already kind of found where you are. This Morin definitely has access to law enforcement technology to catch impoverished criminals. You need to catch him. Something about a wealthy man or a boy hiding in their basement. So there are upper middle class people that are well off. As I'm walking around on my phone, they tend to point out because I'm right next to Spanish Springs uh, Center. I was stayed in the hotel um, right across or right in the middle of Spanish Springs. The first time I came out here, but it's like a Hyatt or something, and now I'm in the Comforts in Suites across the street, which is more affordable. It's great. I mean, I'm right in Spanish Springs Center, so I'm walking around with my cell phone. They can sort of see on your cell phone or something really weird, or then you see the makes of the cars or something going by. Somebody really needs to get Stephen Paddocks over there out of law enforcement. That they hub, they need to get him out of the Tokyo Transit hub or something. Is what I'm saying. Like he stalls cars. I got in the car to drive to mom and dad's house to pick up bird perches, and then go to Walmart or the Dollar Tree to get like a pitcher so I could make tea and have some drinks and plastic containers and paper plates and stuff. And it stalked the car the entire way. I don't think I bothered to turn my cell phone off just because I just don't feel like we're doing that this way, that way. I don't feel like we're taking, I think the problem is so extensive and serious a problem. The guy is a serial killer uh, material. He's definitely conspired so much that he has to be charged. Whoever my heavy breather is on the cell phone is it's all heavy breathing. It has been all throughout. Whenever a voice would pop through with the thing, it always would fall apart into a heavy breathing. It sits here all night and just broods over your body while you sleep. It's absolutely hideous. It always has had like Google Maps little yellow guy. Um, And it can put the yellow guy on you, on your cell phone. It follows your cell phone around like that. I believe this man stalked so much on cell phone, and then his ability to say he has a right to be on people's internet accounts due to one of them or a couple of them have law enforcement security clearance. It's absolutely hideous. There's but the whole too the usual home invasion stalking that they're you can never get rid of them. Um, Commenting on how the nice cars going by because people in this area are gonna have it's absolutely beautiful. I've been here, was here before, of course. It's so nice to have a car. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's golf cart paths everywhere, but sometimes the walking is a little like you're walking on the road. But I mean, it is beautiful oak trees, Spanish moss right there by the polo club area, and the horses. Um, but this story of international home invasion and home invaders everywhere that have gone that use this technology. It is true these men do actually have this ability, which is of highest concern. But he just wants to go into his that he is actually like the schizophrenic. Crazy frog of Hitler, and that there's all these guys that are just as bad and as schizophrenic and a serial killer as me, and there's like upper middle class black men hiding in their basements from them or their kids. I am afraid, in fact, I'm absolutely positive these men do have children they're doing this to. The stalking is so extreme, and if it's them doing it, they're so extreme they can't handle themselves at all as far as subtlety, as far as I can tell. So therefore, I'm thinking there must be in the Arkansas area where I was, because some of these same guys, or elsewhere, there might be. They apparently have this. They've gotten this new ability to basically just sort of um, their ability seems to be getting worse and worse. Um, as far as scanning on cell phones and then generating like actual electrical impulse in the body so that they can actually sexual assault people. They very much have this ability. They very much, whoever these men are, you can actually touch someone's body physically with a cell phone and some kind of law enforcement stalking device. They're on Crowd Stalker too. They have complete like, so they can. I believe it's probably just to check guitar cases for guns, things like that. These guys absolute misuse of law enforcement, but he also goes on how like he can't. So he's like Hitler. He has a whole army of these guys, so that you'll never be able to get away from them. And they give out the links of these people they've cased the joint to absolutely all of their friends, and if anyone want to kill them or molest their kids, so there are these people who's being absolutely molested to death by the entire man in the high castle home invasion, absolute schizophrenic googlies, which he likes to narrate over and over again about they can't ever escape and they just never will turn off the same people. Car drives fine and then he starts stalling it, um, and stalled it all the way to Walmart and then my parents' house. Um, they need to be taken into custody completely. And I'm gonna put this back up. Right now, I'm gonna walk over to Spanish Springs because I have some stuff I want to do. Um, this town center. My parents live right next to the Fort Sumter uh, Town Center. Uh, Lake Sumter Town Center was also really nice. I got to meet my mother's new puppy yesterday and turned that thing cute. Got all my pets situated. They'll have nice, and then so they're all gonna happily survive the move, which is a concern because they're delicate little creatures. Um, and they're tiny, cute little tweety feet. Um, but puppies are totally okay. Um, and had to change a fish tank yesterday. Loving my nice transitions classes because I got used to driving with and these are transitions, so they just change. Gonna get another pair with this year's. He always like this guy likes to shout about, he sits around and he counts every single penny, and apparently he's doing this to a well-off man who was hiding in basement. My hearing person looks better than what's doing it here, which is fine. And but apparently the well-off man or the boy was hiding in his basement after he went through all his bank account and is terrorizing him and his man in the High Castle guys are probably gonna murder him. And you're supposed to like magically fight. You're supposed to fight troll wars, but this he was doing it in the car. This ends up just being a 400 pound by shouting Ninja Turtles go in the sewer and hack it with like code or something. My poor grandfather actually worked. He worked. I have oddly all sorts of whatever that he worked on satellites, but I mean I don't understand. He actually worked. I mean it's 1969 and things like that. Poor grandfather been a nicer man. Um, so I don't know. Apparently, um, he's the enchantress. Yeah, right. I don't know. So it's a lot of space tights, but I mean the space tights story is just unbelievable. I mean unbelievable because it means these guys can kidnap people using the technology they're on, which is just the ability to stalk on cell phones. I think these evolutions coming out is this man stalked on cell phone, and he stalked me on cell phone for so much, so long, that he's anything that can be done on the cell phone. This thing is going to get a hold of it. The ability to touch you actually is to touch the human body is an enormous problem. I mean, it's just such a problem. There's nothing to be done for it. And supposedly, he may have given the link out to other Richard Huckleheads. It is quite the man girl love convention over there. It unfortunately is a man girl love convention. Sometimes it's a man boy love convention. I cannot imagine, but the man is the most schizophrenic man to ever be well schizophrenic. So, I'm going to turn this off for a bit. That's just synopsis. It's so incredibly creepy. You need to make sure there's nothing to the home invasion man in the High Castle, because there is such a thing as the rest of it. But I assume the well, obviously that means the other is the case, right? But I mean, to get my nails done yesterday and clean up everything, bring everything in. Everything, all the things I was traveling with are safely in the hotel room so they won't cook in the car. And I'm all set to move into my new condo on the 27th. Um, so, I mean, it's pretty much just fun over here where I am. I'd like to start, looking for jobs, things like that. It's going to be really hard with the fact that I'm still having to sleep. Um, I mean, sleep has been, like I said, though, one night I end up falling asleep on the bed and then I'll end up sleeping on the floor in the Faraday cloth hoodie and blanket, which he says makes you hard to see. He said that multiple times this morning and last night. Um, so, I mean, it's difficult to start a job with the sexual assault device hooked up to the cell phone, because if they have a crowd stalker and because he's just determined, and doesn't like to be turned off or something. The crowd stalker can definitely get you even with your phone turned off, because it's has to find out where perps are, so it can still just fixate on your body just the same because you are the perp they were looking for and they found you. Of course, this guy just sits around and basically uh, hangs out in his adult body diaper over there and talks about raping and murdering and sexually assaulting children. And I mean, he's so ridiculous. Was the other there's no politics in this. It's just as far as how on earth could this possibly be going on and have gone on so long? It's so nasty. He definitely has children he's stalking or he wanders in. And really sexually assaults children. I'm sure their parents have called the police. I'm sure the children have called the police. Um, if they can figure out 911, and for sure they're going to call it here. It's so bad. But you need to check for families in the areas where these men have been. They now are, but unfortunately, things have evolved because otherwise they definitely would have done it if they had the ability. But they can now touch you with a cell phone. Again, I remember when about the point where you could just be peacefully in the middle of Olmsted Park watching a Netflix movie while jogging or something. Uh, this wasn't good for like, and that the just total ease of long distance cell phone this wasn't good for the progression of the stalking on the cell phone and on the internet. At the point it is now, because they have a body scanner that can actually like generate electromagnetic pulses or electricity in your body, and they can very much touch you. And fortunately, it does also. He has a complete like vibration device or something hooked up to it, but it goes right for your crotch and starts vibrating your pants. It's vibrating underwear of death. It is in fact the case. It also has some kind of TENS therapy. It's very quite painful. You're all being electrocuted or something at the same time. Your arms prickle, stuff. I mean, it's just hideous. Swells up. I mean, you have no idea. So it's also quite painful. This was not supposed to be a sexual assault tool. I think somebody definitely developed it into it. I think they did a long time ago. Once you're driving down the road, there is no doubt, or just the fact that it came from trucking. It's like, what in the world? Because the police needed to scan cars and trucks for drugs. So they've had this technology for forever. Why? And then, so generating, they have had this technology forever. I've heard the story since the 90s. Is actually correct as to something very much that is a possibility that these men widespread, whoever this group is. It really makes me worry about the home invasion thing. Since apparently, like, I'm going to have to go into witness protection to get away from all these guys that he's given my link out to, and so is anybody else, because they're well off and anybody can mug them. But go check for people, perfectly nice, normal Midwestern Americans, Southern Midwestern Americans, calling from the Carroll County, Arkansas area that they're being terrorized, and they already called. Check Wake Forest, North Carolina. And then in general, apparently because they gave this monster, his clearance to use stuff in North Carolina, he probably still does and does have access to it, because he's basically going through bank accounts and sexual assaulting children because he can mirror internet and cell phone, so he can very easily, and then talking about murdering people. Now he's all these friends, and I have this link, just gets it out and over there in his adult ID, but incredibly dangerous. So I mean, why Mr. Adult IDs of death are running loose this badly, I do not know, but it's just the case. So it has to end because it's absolutely hideous. I'm more or less still alive over here, but I mean, it's just, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure how long I can maintain, but I'm still. I just wake up and I'm still alive. So I'll be back up in no time, or later today. Right now I'm going over to Spanish Springs, right across the street, to do some stuff. So okay, I'll post again soon. Since I got my phone on, Mister Bad Guy, you got anything to say for yourself? Or are we gonna get murdered by the whole Nazi home invasion army? Who's apparently people hiding in their basement. I'm guessing in Arkansas. There's no way this isn't the same guy in Arkansas, guys, because they refer to things you would have had to been there, really. And I mean all throughout, like you would have had to been there. And yes, they tell them I've been stalking you, but all right. Uh, and this talking is absolutely hideous. So anyway, that's the synopsis, and I'll continue to check in later with all this. Okay, I just want us to know, are we ending things? Yeah.